It all started with a joke when I was like 12. Because growing up, I've always like seen alcohol as something that it's unnecessary. Like, I am very pragmatic. So since a very young age, when I saw people drinking alcohol, I was like, why are you putting a neurotoxin inside your body on purpose to diminish your senses? Why are you? Well, I live in a country where most 14-year-olds get drunk every Saturday night. So, um, yeah, I told myself that I wouldn't do it. And because I didn't want to, and I just felt it wasn't something healthy that I wanted to put in my body. And I want to teach you the lessons that I've learned by promising myself that I would never drink, because it has been many years, because it has been a few years now, and I think it's one of the best choices I've ever made, to be honest. Just to clarify, I don't have any issue or trauma with alcohol. I just don't like it. And that's it. I'm someone who values a lot my health. I try to not put something that's bad on my body because it's a way of like disrespecting it. And I remember being around 14, 15, and people like my friends were starting, going out and partying and drinking. I know it has social power. And that's also one of the reasons why I don't drink. Because I promised myself that I wouldn't drink, but at the same time, I would still be friends with the people who drank. Because the whole thing was to differ myself. Growing up, I saw many of my classmates and friends get just swept by the force of drinking alcohol, even though they didn't want. Maybe they don't even want to drink, but they just do it for the social factor. And yeah, I believe that most teenagers and young adults drink because they need to escape and to fit in. And I just realized I didn't want to escape my life. I just wanted to make it good. And also, I also believe that you don't need to drink to fit in a group. The first lesson would be to stand out for yourself. By not drinking, I would, I don't know, be with my friends or be with people in a social setting, and they would be like, hey, have a drink. And I'd be like, hey, I actually don't drink. And they were like, what the actual fuck? You're a weirdo. And I'm like, and I would say, hey, yeah, but yeah, and people would be like, why you don't drink? It's so cool. And I was like, I personally don't want to. That's it. They were like, okay, okay. And there was literally no issue with most people. But there goes the second lesson, which is clear signs of disrespect. Because there were some people, well, there are some people to whom I say, hey, I don't drink. And they try to just persuade me into drinking. And it's like, hey, I just told you I wasn't gonna. Why are you keep pressuring me? And this is the best thing it could have ever happened to me. These people just are very disrespectful. And in my experience, those who try to persuade me into drinking are the ones who will later disrespect my boundaries or disrespect other things that I do say. People who disrespect your boundaries on things like drinking um, are literally gonna disrespect you when it comes to, I don't know, your limits and what you wanna do and don't. So yeah, just beware of them. So it's easy to spot those kinds of people when you don't drink. Some may argue that by not drinking, separating myself from many social settings that young adults have, like partying. But I don't like partying. I'm just really weird. I don't like partying. Um, I just have gone out like once in my lifetime, and it was on my graduation day, and I remember we were having the party in the same place that we had previously had dinner. So yeah, I just remember people not even finishing their food and going to the dance floor and start drinking and binge drinking. 45 minutes later, people were already really, really drunk, and I just found myself in a situation when I was in the middle of a dance floor with extremely loud, bad music, and I was surrounded by my peers who weren't in their full senses, and I just didn't like it. I could talk to nobody, and I just felt really uncomfortable. It wasn't my cup of tea. And I seriously just wanted to sleep. I was in the middle of the dance floor with a glass of water, and everyone around me was just so drunk and high. And it wasn't even like 1 in the morning. There was a girl throwing up, and I just, I, I was really uncomfortable. So I just did what any normal girl would do. I called my mom, and she was like, "Hey, honey, have you left anything at home, or is the dinner good?" And I literally responded to her like, "Mom, please come. This is not worth it for me." And she was like, "Okay, honey, I just expected you to last a bit longer, but okay." So she came and picked me up at 1 in the morning. And for some context, in Spain, you're supposed to party till like 7 a.m. in the morning. I mean, you're not always supposed, but in big, dates like your graduation, people go to breakfast drunk. Because in Spain, the after party is the breakfast. Like you're supposed to party till like 7 a.m. in the morning. Once I went for a run in the morning and I saw many people like going back home. And I just laughed at myself, like, wow. Hey, disclaimer by that, I'm not condoning partying. If you like it, it's amazing. And I'm also don't condoning drinking alcohol. It would be very hypocritical of me to say, hey, I'm better than you because I don't drink, because hey, I take a lot of caffeine. Well, not that much, just 2 cups of coffee a day, more or less. Like, nobody's perfect when it comes to their health. And if you enjoy it and you have a healthy relationship with it, you go, girl or boy, slay. I just wanted to, give my opinion on drinking because it's a hard topic. And I see many people drinking who don't want to drink. And I see many people not standing out for the things that they want. Like, no one's going to stand out for yourself more than you. And by me fighting the social pressure of having to drink, it was my way to say, hey, I can stand out for myself, which is hard. I still find it really hard to stand out for myself sometimes. But now I have some proof. Like, I can say no to things that people say yes to, something that's considered normal. I can stand from the crowd while also being in the crowd. My aim with this video is not telling everyone to not drink. I mean, you could try it, I don't know, for a week and stand out and say, guys, this week I'm not gonna drink. And the people who pressure you into drinking are the ones who respect themselves the least. I personally don't want people like this in my life. It all started for health reasons, but as I've mentioned, I also like drink coffee, which is literally a drug. To be honest, I have to say that I'm keeping my promise for the sake of keeping my promise. If I happened to go on a dinner one day and decided to have a glass of wine, nothing terrible would happen to my body. Like, maybe I would kill a couple neurons, but my body can fight that. I just don't want to. I've realized it's not about the health reasons anymore. It's because I don't want to, period. I love keeping a stupid promise to myself because it also serves me as a proof of, hey, I can do whatever I want. And hey, I can keep promises to myself. Many people tell me, like, just have a sip, try it out. Aren't you curious? I'm a very curious human being, but I just chose to blind myself on my curiosity towards alcohol because I don't want to see myself with my senses diminished, and I don't want to see myself not keeping my promises. So, some promises are meant to be broken. Nothing would happen if I happened to break my promise. But I don't want to. I'm stubborn. I'm kind of like obsessed with the idea of, hey, I've never drunk alcohol just because I don't want to. Like, not because it goes against my values, not because I think it's awful, not because of anything terrible in my life, not because of trauma, not because of anything. Just, I don't want to. I like it. It gives me a sense of security myself, which leads me to the point of, hey guys, I highly encourage you to make a promise to yourself and keep it. Even if it's stupid, even if it's something that it's not a big of a deal. For instance, I chose alcohol because the consequences of not drinking alcohol are not bad. Like, I'm not intoxicating myself. So yeah, it's a win-win. But if I happen to drink a bit of alcohol, nothing really terrible would happen. But I'm just, it's better being safe than sorry. I'm usually a sorry girl, but in this case, I like to be better safe than sorry. And it just aligned with my values, aligned with my lifestyle. And as I've mentioned, I highly encourage you to just take something in your life. For instance, not wear makeup. You just make a promise to yourself to not wear makeup. I did it. Like on June, I told myself that I wouldn't wear makeup because I was feeling like I was placing a lot of value in makeup and on whether I looked pretty or not. So I decided to not wear makeup for a month. And that was also a really good experience. Now I wear makeup and it's okay, but I have a much healthier relationship with it. The point is to have healthy relationships with things. For instance, I had a friend who was afraid of alcohol, and he never partied, never drank, not because of stubbornness like me, but rather because he was afraid and he had some trauma with alcohol. So he happened to go through shock therapy, and he partied and he drank, and he realized that it wasn't that big of a deal. And now we've discussed, sometimes he enjoys a bit of alcohol, and he's okay with it. And the good part is that he now has a healthy relationship with alcohol, and it doesn't have power over him, because in the beginning he feared so much alcohol that it was having such power over him. How do I see it? Because some may argue, like, Paula, what you've explained is like you're also afraid of alcohol and the consequences that it would have to your life. um yeah, I certainly do, to a smaller extent, but it's more of a, I choose alcohol to have power over me so that I can have more power over myself and my decisions. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just really felt the need to talk. I didn't even script, or I haven't done any research for this video. It's solely my experience, and I just hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I really like giving my experiences to you because I thought that we could all learn from my decisions. I just wanted to put my opinion out there so that someone may relate to it. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with not drinking alcohol. So don't feel bad if you are someone who doesn't do what most people their age do, but this action is not bad. Um yeah, have a nice week or day or moment. Have a nice life. Mwah. Bye.